It's a lovely day to be a part of Dip Nation. My name is Dave. I'm hosting today. Welcome to the Too Much Dip podcast. It's Monday morning. Got a lot to get to. Joining me here in the studio, as always, none other than the internet's own Dylan Shivery.
Thank you, David. Happy to be here. There was a few moments during the Texas Tech game. I was watching it with my son, actually, Parks. And he was trying to get me to play with him, do other stuff besides watch the game. And I was like, not now, buddy. I'm kind of nervous watching this game. And he imparted some wisdom on me. 7 years of age. He was like, Dad, it's just a game. You know, if it upsets you, maybe you shouldn't watch it. Maybe you should walk away.
Not a game. Not a game.
And I wish I had a little bit more of that in me.
It's called perspective, folks.
It is. Just a game, Dad. Who cares if they win or lose? He's right. Still hurts, though.
Pretty much just going to determine my mood for the next week, son.
Yeah.
So why don't you just let me have this?
Yeah, go play with some Legos, dog. Get out of my face. No, but it was a touching moment. He's right. He's not wrong at all.
He's not. And that's a great segue into our next guest, who's never wrong at all either. Coming to us live from the crisp Northwest, or Midwest, I guess. Madison, Wisconsin.
It is QZ season here in the Midwest.
It's none other than KJ, DeSoto, former DeSoto grape.
Sunny and 60 degrees and a beautiful Midwest day. Your boy is absolutely loving everything that is fall.
Torch.
It's creeping up to about 66 to 68 later in the week.
Oh.
But I am I'm sacrificing that for my first trip back to the great Lone Star State. So I'm looking forward to enjoying what looked to be a miserable weather weekend in Texas, as I too was avoiding emotional connection with my family and watching the SMU-TCU game, but they were just pouring sweat in 100-degree weather on Saturday.
A little front came through, KJ. Not a big one, a little one.
Dried it out. Gave us a little dry air, little breeze this morning. Drank coffee outside. Good stuff. Or to some bing bong. I had bing bong.
He had outside bing bong.
You ever done that?
Well, patio bing bong is a move. Depending on the establishment, and what name you give them, it always can kind of set up your day for fail. But I think Dylan was telling me earlier that when you picked up your bing bong, just over the loudspeaker, they just kind of leaned over the corner and they didn't even say a name. They're like, him?
And I said,
meal latte for him.
They said, I am him.
I am him. I am him.
We were talking about this a few minutes ago before hitting the record button. Just the worst trend, meme, whatever you want to call it, of recent memory for me. It's just bad. Also seems like that is usually reserved for our Savior.
Higher power of sorts.
Higher power, sure. Whatever you believe in. Stephon Diggs saying it, you'd think it's like he's got some clout. That's cool.
Great receiver, top 5, some say.
But when the PGA Tour tweets out, what did they tweet out? Who's the young man they used?
Probably JT.
Doesn't matter. No, it was Tom Kim.
Oh.
Tom Kim is him.
Tom Kim, your breakout star from the Prez Cup. We'll get to that later when we go full dimple head with KJ.
Yeah. Dimp Nation.
As the father of a 2-year-old, hearing that sort of a tweet just immediately stings of fucking go dog go pattern. Tom Kim is him.
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss ass tweet.
What is the biblical reference there? I mean, is it just that certain denominations refer to Jesus as him? I know you see that is this in the same vein as he is risen?
Yeah. You see him capitalized when people are talking about God, and it's that's where my brain goes. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if
it's accurate or not, but I definitely have the same sort of reaction.
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, man, this is kind of odd. And as a society, I feel like we've kind of discarded Bam Margera, and this is really not doing a lot, but undercutting the popularity of his band of the same name.
Okay.
I know one of the two gets it.
and it's not me.
Wow. Didn't expect
I don't
that
know any of
today.
their songs.
I will say it's going to be weird when like Stephon Diggs gets hurt, comes out of the game, goes into the tent, not going to see him again. Oh, then he goes in, catches a big touchdown, and he looks at the camera and says, "He is risen." Yeah, oh, come on, Stephon, you
Yeah.
blasphemy.
As somebody who proudly, very proudly, and I don't even mean this like in jest or any sort of satire, has his pronouns in his like work signature line. I would also say this trend kind of flies in the face of, maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just bringing awareness. Maybe Stephon Diggs is just saying it's okay to let your pronouns be known as a professional athlete. So like Steph Curry is going to hit a 3. They hot right now is what he's going to say to the camera.
It's not. I just don't think that that's what the intent is. It's nice that you thought about that, though.
I stand for inclusivity. You know this about me.
Good guy, KJ. Good guy. Wife guy, KJ. Before we get into it, I want to do a little shout out to the Washed Media shop. That's washedmedia.shop. If you want to get you some Dippy merch, or you want to get some Dippy stickers, or you want to get some spooky season gear because you're into that, you can get all of it. Washed Media gear.
New Too Much Dip hat.
Ooh, don't even tell them yet. Just be on the lookout.
Dropping most likely by the end of the week. If not the end of the week, first thing next week. KJ, you've seen it.
It's coming
I
your way.
have.
We're sending one your way.
Your boy
KJ
is
not you.
very, very aged for this. You know what? How about we announce when it drops on the Too Much Dip Instagram story and or on the Too Much Dip YouTube live stream. Look for first notification there.
Where can you find those things that you just mentioned?
Fantastic question for David. Fantastic one for him.
Well, you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/toomuchdip every Thursday evening, 6:30 Central. We go live and we mix it up. We're just guys hanging out, eating apps, flirting with the waitress.
I thought you were going to say eating something else.
Eating ass.
Jeez, that
If it goes
close.
if it
That
goes
was
well,
done.
We won't do that on the live stream, though.
We won't eat ass on the live stream. That I promise you.
That is a fantastic food podcast name.
Eating ass?
Eating apps.
Oh. It's app eating
I
season.
don't hate that.
It's app eating
I
season.
really
Let's
don't.
make that shirt.
The other place that you can find it is Too Much Dip Podcast on Instagram. Major shouts. I don't know if this is the work of Cool Adam in the background or of Randy, but for the first time converting the live stream into a stack quad box.
That's the great Randini.
Socials. Fantastic work, sir. Fantastic work.
It's Midwest Randy for you. Yeah, he did that
I
way quick.
appreciate
I
that.
thought that was going to be like an ask of him that like it's going to take a long time just because it seemed to and me from my head I was like, oh, this is going to be a beating for him to do. He did it in like 30 minutes. This guy's a real pro's pro. Other than that, we could just get right into it.
Is it time? Please tell me there are no dip line calls from like
No.
tech fans.
I have not checked them. I specifically did not check it. I didn't feel like I needed
you.
to do it to you. You know what that means.
I didn't want to get ambushed.
Dylan, it's college football time.
College football. Did I ruin it for you?
When my team wins a big game,
College football. Hard out.
Okay.
Where do we
like
begin?
I think Dylan filled in a gap there, and it was well executed. I think let's get everything else out the way, because we know where we're going to finish with this.
You want to
so
start
maybe we do
with
we save Texas and SFA for last. Do everything else.
You want to start with the class of the Big 12, your Kansas Jayhawks?
You're 4-0 Kansas Jayhawks. Any votes in the AP poll? I don't know if I saw any.
Surely, right?
You'd think, man.
Yeah. They ended the drought, so they're like 20th. And Florida State somehow also was not ranked until this week. So shouts to them for their comeback as well. Let me confirm on Kansas, though.
So Kansas is 4-0. And they just beat Duke, who's
Good team.
a good team.
A 3-0 team going into Kansas.
Jalen Daniels, the quarterback for Kansas, might want to familiarize yourself with this young man if you haven't already. He is the real deal, as the kids say. Threw for 324 yards, 4 touchdowns against Duke, along with 83 yards and a touchdown on the ground.
Yeah, he is very exciting. I'm not ready to say Kansas is must-see TV yet, but they're getting close. They are going to make noise in the Big 12. Maybe they already have with victories over who? West Virginia. This is not a Big 12 team yet, but they beat Houston also. They've got a good resume, man. You know what? As much as I despise their basketball program, I have no issues with Kansas football being fun. I know they had their taste of beating Texas in the Charlie Strong years. No, sorry, Dylan, really
It's okay.
kicking you right in the nards. And then again beat Tom Herman. Was it Tom Herman?
No, last year, Sark.
Oh, it was Sark.
Sark's
oh,
first
no,
year.
Sark. But now they're putting it together. They've got a quarterback, like we said, is very exciting. And
They won an Orange Bowl not too long ago.
2008,
Maybe some of
no?
our listeners weren't in junior high, but yes.
I mean, that it was
what's the first thing you think of when you think of those teams?
Mangino.
What do you mean?
The very rotund Mark Mangino.
I was
He's a
gonna say
large
Keith
fella.
Talib.
Is not to be insensitive here, but is he still with us?
Yes.
Okay. I'm always worried about his health. That's why I'm just worried about him.
Sincere Dylan.
You know what I mean?
No, that's
fair.
that is much different than even if maybe the pounds on the scale weren't different. I feel like that's more in bounds than
It's just that
Mike McCarthy slander. Like it was a defining
Yeah.
feature of his
yeah,
Plus, he's Italian.
of his identity.
his heart's just doing work.
Yeah.
on the daily.
And he
I
got
mean-
ran out for like player abuse. Like I want to say
Yeah.
trying to choke or
Yeah, he
smack a
did.
player. So,
Of
he's
course.
fair game.
Orange Bowl winning quarterback was Todd Reesing, Lake Travis's own.
I saw him at Little Woodrow's a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have on Todd Reesing.
I too have only seen him at a bar. It was in Dallas, though.
It's really random.
Kansas is to be taken seriously this year, and like you said, I'm like legitimately happy for like all 12 of their football fans.
No,
But really, I am happy for their fans. Not to be rude.
I'm really happy for their fan. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, look, hey, we're talking about them. They're making noise. They're our Big 12 fun team of the week. How about that?
Correct.
Wow.
I think that is a better award than what they're getting in the rankings because allow me to do my weekly. These fucking rankings suck. Shouldn't overcuss. They are not actually ranked in either the coaches or the AP poll officially this week. They're ranked in like power rankings and a couple other places, but they are 26th for the AP top 25. And in the coaches poll, they are 27th officially. Behind powerhouses like A&M, who moved up 3 spots after beating Miami and Arkansas, and Miami lost to Middle Tennessee. So
while we're
Cool.
bitching about the rankings, let me just give a shout out to Beav Nation out there. I don't want to jump the gun here, but no love, 3-point loss to USC, a top 10 team. Was Dave's certified banger of the week? Wasn't a banger. Good game. Not the offensive banger I expected. Caleb Williams looked pretty meh. But that's a credit to Oregon State. 3-point game, and they can't get any top 25 love. They're 3-1. They're a good team.
yeah,
You call it. You're
They're,
ground floor beef.
That's one of 2 games I picked correctly. Very cool, Dave. Ground floor beef.
there are quite a few 4-0 teams that just now cracked the rankings. Minnesota, Florida State, as I mentioned before. Washington is still in the top 25. So I agree. They should have been higher than what they are, which is like 7 votes in a couple of these polls, but we've got bigger fish to fry at this point.
Okay. How about them K-State Wildcats?
Knocked off OU.
Dude,
It took
Adrian
the-
Martinez was balling. I don't know how
Yeah.
much of that game y'all watched. I had so much fun watching him.
I caught some of it, and when the little parts that I did catch, he was just breaking off long ass runs. That dude, he played his ass off.
Like the game of his
He's
life.
Nebraska, right?
Formerly, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Former Nebraska
Yeah.
quarterbacks, I should say.
Big 12 has some teams, man. I mean, I don't think any team in the Big 12 is going to make the playoff, but there's some teams.
People are already ruling that out for the Big 12 now that OU lost, because
Right.
OU is obviously their highest ranked team. I think that's a little silly. But
I mean, Oklahoma State,
Yeah.
I think has an outside shot. That team is also really good.
K-State really fucked us by losing to Tulane. And by us, I mean the Big 12. Because K-State was a lot of people's team to win the conference. And I know that's early on, they can come back from that, but people are going to point to that, whatever. He was very inconsistent at Nebraska. And maybe that's just because no one can succeed at Nebraska. But, like, he would have flashes of, like, oh, dude, this dude's kind of electric. And then he would just get inexplicably inconsistent.
Yeah.
Throwing interceptions left and right. But he was great in Norman, too. A night game in Norman. Went down there and, like, was never in doubt.
It's a tough place to play.
Famously.
I'm happy for both Kansas and Kansas State. I will say Kansas State's got more consistent fan base than what Kansas had. We all know that. But I will say when Kansas was good, their fan base traveled well. They do like the hey waving arms. So whatever. I think just like talk of the Big Ten or the Pac-12's chances of the playoff being up after Oregon lost to Auburn, I think it's silly. And I almost want to say it's kind of driven by like way too much interest in the SEC, or outweighed interest in the SEC, because Oklahoma State, Baylor, granted Baylor lost to BYU, like both of those are competitive teams on a national level. And once we get an expanded playoff, like if they're sneaking in at 9, 10, 11, 12, they're not getting blown out by 40.
Facts. Speaking of Baylor, went into Ames. Ames, right? I always confuse that. Yeah, went into
That's
Ames.
correct.
Matt Campbell, first half had at least 3 separate, just unbelievable meltdowns. There was a targeting call that was very sus early on. He called a timeout just to further berate an official. Like, and then in the second, I mean, he had 5 meltdowns the entire game. That guy, I'm worried about that guy. Like, I give him shit a lot just because I feel like he always loses it when he plays Baylor, but he needs to fucking calm down, dude.
That's a guy, you cannot look at names on a list for the next big hire or names on a list for this job and not find his name on that list for the last 3 years. And you got to wonder if he held on a little too long to keep on building at Iowa State. Like, maybe he gets like the Matt Rule love of like people just know he's a football guy and an X's and O's guy and just never had the tools at Iowa State. But I just don't see that happening. Or I don't see anything different than what's going on at Iowa State happening for him.
Who's the Bills offensive coordinator that just lost his shit in the booth yesterday? They're the same
Ken
person.
Dorsey.
Yeah, same person.
Former Miami Hurricane quarterback.
National champion.
Right. I forgot about that. Very cool. Baylor's I'm not here to I fully expect Baylor to lose at least 2 games in the conference, but their offense looks better. Their quarterback looks better. They're opening it up a little bit. Jeff Grimes actually called a fairly brilliant game against Iowa State after a call for his firing.
I thought you were going to say he actually called a pass play.
No, he did. They did. They're very, very down with going forward on 4th. It's very much a 4-down team. So, I mean, they'll run it on 1st and they'll run it on 3rd, and they're going to go for it on 4th. And they do it fairly well. I don't know how it's going to work against some of these better teams. They got Oklahoma State this weekend, who had a bye week, but I think Oklahoma State's still probably the best team in the Big 12 early on. Spencer Sanders looked pretty awesome early, so.
It's his 8th year in the program.
It really is.
Yeah. Did you guys catch any Arkansas, Texas A&M?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, boy.
Completely forgot to add that.
Oh, boy. Poor
yeah.
John Daly. Just sitting in that suite alone, just little pig's hat.
Just house and bourbon and Sprite,
Just
whatever he drinks.
Just absolutely just jacked.
Yeah, Texas A&M, fantastic defense. Offense stinks. Fantastic defense, and that was it that fumble return that was like 90 plus yards. It was like lateraled at some point.
Just hand it off.
Yeah, basically a handoff.
Yeah, it was just handed off.
Play of the game, and that's what won. Obviously,
I mean,
and won by 2.
It was a 14-0 game, about to be 21-0, and then that. I mean, KJ is a big momentum believer, so I'll let him explain how this works. But it did seem like the momentum switched, KJ.
Yeah, Big Mo was in the building for them after that point on. I'm surprised we don't see efforts of this like more frequently, especially like the shove it in another guy's stomach and they just get tackled. Like you rarely see that presence of mind. Okay, fuck. You rarely see the presence of mind to pull that off in the middle of a game. I'm not even gonna go there. It's gonna be I once did something similar. But I think that it's back in my day. No, it was like a simple picked up a fumble and then happened to pitch it to guys who was getting tackled and then got benched by my coach for the rest of the game because we were winning by like 30.
But I feel like after a turnover as a defender, you're not like, you can kind of get away with more shit because like you're not even supposed to have the ball. I can do what the fuck I want with this thing, In offense, you get your ass reamed if you try
can
something
do bits.
Like that.
You can do more bits.
You can. It's like, okay, I might touch the ball one other time this season if things go well. Like I can. Yeah, I'm gonna. If I see a guy, I'm gonna lateral. Fuck it.
More teams should try it, or at least like have it in their playbook. Like, hey, have the presence of mind to go look for a block, and as you're getting engaged with the tackle, like. Keep your head on a swivel.
There it is.
Who we missing?
SMU embarrassed all of Dallas County. Nobody more embarrassing than the mayor of that damn city. It's a little bit niche here, but the city of Dallas's mayor has been an absolute, I'm not even going to say it, just like overly buying into like SMU is Dallas's program and this is our school and this, that, and the other, like just a complete like tool about it. He didn't go to SMU. It has nothing to do with SMU. He's just like trying to be supportive. Mind you, they're not in Dallas. They're in Highland Park or University Park. But whatever. SMU loses on Saturday and this effer is posting a picture of like, love supporting my Dallas Baptist Patriots like later that day.
DBU?
Yeah.
I mean,
at least
solid
like
baseball
Paul Quinn.
program.
They have a football program too?
They'll make a College World Series every now and then.
Okay.
Oh,
no.
DBU.
But that's neither here nor there. SMU has no run defense. Their offense is legitimate. Rashee Rice is a day one wide receiver. But TCU has some leftover guys who can absolutely go. They had a kick return and the same player had an 80-yard touchdown run where it was clear the guy is like Dylan wouldn't question his sub 4.540.
He can move.
He could absolutely move.
Okay.
Yeah, I was really disappointed because that was an 11 a.m. game. I think we hyped it up on the live stream. Weird, I hyped up a game and it didn't deliver. Turned it on, and you're already seeing people on Twitter making fun of SMU for not filling out the stadium, which I come to find out was absolutely incorrect based on people who were there. But they came out. I mean, what was it? It was like 14, 20 nothing at one point. I mean, it was pretty much over in the first quarter, which you don't love to see. And SMU has the firepower to get back into it, and to their credit, they did. It was, 8-point game? But yikes.
Should have been a 7-point game. I don't understand the concept of being down 14 and going for 2 after that first touchdown. And we did that, and we were then down by 8. And at that point, we stopped TCU to force them to punt and get the ball back with a minute left. And we were called for a penalty that was clear as day a penalty, but not one you see called very often. And it was leaping. So you have the punter's line and then the personal protectors, the guys right in front of the line. We'll talk about them later. One of the guys attempting to block the punt basically tried to launch himself over the personal protector. You can't do that because you're basically setting yourself up to get completely just flipped over his head and land on your neck. Like it's just not safe. And the guy did it clear as day, automatic first down. TCU, scored again right after that or something. So I'm glad they fought back. They played well. The stadium was more packed, but again, it was 100 degrees. And our pre-games are better than most teams' post-games, but it's a little slow to get into the stadium when you're boulevarding so hard.
Hey, win or lose, they still booze.
Damn.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
So whatever.
So many just frat daddies out there just mixing it up.
I was disappointed.
Crokies.
Where were they? They didn't show them. The stadium.
They were the hilltop, like not the hilltop, but the hill behind the field goal post, like that has become like for big games, it's like full of students because behind that they've set up all of the bar, like beer garden tents behind that. And that's the only place where there was any shade in that damn stadium until they rebuild it.
I'm talking.
So they were there, but it was people like off into the concourse, basically.
I'm talking 5-inch inseams, man. Ray-Bans, heavy starch, just button downs.
Just some kid in full business cash
Yeah,
for some reason, just sweating profusely.
Just been drinking bourbon since 7:30 in the morning.
Calling Sonny Dykes a traitor.
Yeah, among other things.
I'm like, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, amongst other things, for sure.
No incidents,
Tanner,
though,
Topher, Landry, all presents. Yeah, no incidents, fortunately. Not even in the crowd, apparently. But let's get the last story out of the way so we leave enough breathing room. Stephen F. Austin, home of the Lumberjacks. In Nacogdoches?
Yes.
Nagtown is what I call it.
The Knack.
Country music artist. I can't think of his name. Also from there, I want to say. Anyways.
Sure somebody is, yeah.
98-0.
Come on.
Oh, my God. That's just rude.
I don't know anything about the team they were playing. I don't think the other team that
It is
knows
a
anything about themselves.
Christian school out of Florida, I believe. Warner. More like
Mm.
Pop Warner. That's what he played like. Pop Warner.
Turns out they needed him. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I don't know who benefits in a game like this. Like, we've seen this at high school levels, like, and it becomes a conversation about bullying. But like at a college level, you're at the point where everybody in the stadium, the players especially, everyone's got shit to do. Like, let's get this thing over with and get out of here.
Here's some
like, call the game.
they got 4 quarterbacks playing time, which you don't
Okay.
really see too
That's
often.
depth.
The fourth quarterback threw 2 passes, completed both of them. The third quarterback threw 10 passes. Give you an idea of how much action these backups got.
Got to see what they got. Got to let them throw it around.
Jeez.
Yeah, I feel like
Any
once you get to like
5+ touchdown havers, running backs or wide receivers or anything stupid?
There was let's see. The top receiver only had 2 touchdowns, 149 yards receiving, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 others had receivers had touchdowns. Yeah, I mean it was just a slaughter.
Was this at SFA or on the road?
I believe this is a home game.
Yeah, this is in
Okay.
Nactown.
Okay, good for them. I think the players who lose that big, like at some point, they don't even give a shit. Like it matters no more than a 50-0 loss. It's probably laughable to them by the end of it.
What's
But
the locker room conversation like on the losing side of that? Like after the game,
you're not even mad.
You're like, what the fuck was that? Did that just happen?
Like really thought once it got to like 63-0, they would just, start handing it off, but no. It continued.
Yeah, you probably do get petty mad, like mad about them doing basic shit like throwing a screen pass. Like they're trying to do like the shortest yards plays in their playbook and you didn't stop them. I think my first year, again, to bring it back to me as a true narcissist would, at SMU, we would play Baylor, TCU, maybe Texas A&M, and one other school, maybe North Texas, before going into like Conference USA play. And at that time, TCU was like still decent. But to have to play Baylor and A&M like back to back to back, like it was just embarrassing. It'd be like 50-0, 60-0. So like you automatically were just like, hey, can we just run the fucking ball? Like we need to be the ones running the clock out. Like I want to go home.
God, dude, that defense must have been worn out.
The band must be worn out.
Oh, my
Fucking
God.
sitting and standing up playing the fight song every 2 minutes.
The mascot actually does push-ups for every point scored too.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He can't even lift his arms today.
Just chopping
Yeah.
down fucking trees for every
God.
touchdown. They do like the saw off the fucking tree ring. No trees left in Nacogdoches.
Sheesh.
That sucks.
Hey, we did talk Arkansas A&M, but did we talk that field goal? The
No.
whatever they're calling it, the doink
off the top of the
off the
upright.
top and
I've
back.
I've never seen that before.
Most people haven't, and I know it was memed to death, but it was. I mean, that was really well. That was wild. You don't see that very often, or ever.
And a crucial 3 points too, as they lost by 2.
Correct. Now that game was at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, a stadium that doesn't have any weird preventable things ever happens. Like no one ever hits the scoreboard
Right.
with a punt, and there's not inexplicable sunlight. Actually, there was inexplicable sunlight at this game. Was watching it, I was like,
This
dude,
was an afternoon game.
can we just okay, beating a dead horse, but
It's time to talk Texas Tech.
let's do the main
Yeah.
event. Jaquindon Jackson at Utah put into the running back position, scored his first touchdown. Looks like they're going to mix it up and get him some touches. But
Let's
yes,
go.
Texas.
Oh, and Ohio State's good. I should say something about the Big Ten. Wisconsin got their asses whooped. Graham Mertz is terrible. That's all I got to say.
Penn
Go
State's
ahead.
really good too. Boom. Analysis. What happened, Dylan?
Texas Tech beat Texas in overtime in Lubbock. It was gut-wrenching.
Yes, Texas.
Gut-wrenching
Hats off
loss.
to Hudson Card for making a throw that got them in the position to kick a field goal to get it to OT. That didn't think that was going to happen.
Hudson Card is very limited capability-wise as a quarterback. But yeah, those last 19 seconds, you only used 17 of them to get in a field goal range without any timeouts. That was very impressive. And then Bert Auburn, the kicker, who's been absolutely nails this year, puts it in overtime. First carry of overtime. Bijan, a guy who does not fumbled the football. Texas Tech recovers. Field goal. Boom. Game's over.
At one point, Texas had a 14-point lead.
Yes. The MO of Sarkisian in his limited time as the Texas head coach is that he cannot finish games. Gets out to leads, doesn't make any adjustments in game, and gives up these leads and eventually loses the game. Not a good way to go about it. I believe he's 7-9 so far as the Texas head coach.
I know Texas fans don't want to hear it, but me being objective, Texas still has a good shot at winning the Big 12 if they get Quinn back in the next 2 weeks, which I think they will. He'll be back for OU, right? In theory.
Yes. If I had to bet, I would say he's back by West Virginia this week.
A lot of people thought he might play in Lubbock.
Yeah, I was hopeful. I think when I made my big boy stack pick, I think I was hopeful that he was going to start. Obviously, it didn't happen. I don't want to make any excuses saying like Texas lost because Quinn Ewers was out of the game. But when Quinn Ewers got hurt against Alabama, it dramatically changed the offensive approach. It dramatically. And in this game, Xavier Worthy gets hurt. He gets hurt like the second play of the game, kind of battles through it, and he plays the entire first half, even scores a long touchdown. But then he sits the second half, and then Tech just
I didn't
stacked.
realize he was out. I guess I saw when he like limped off the field,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize he was out.
So Tech they didn't respect the over-the-top game at all by Hudson Card and the receivers that were left for Texas. Stacked the box and made it really difficult to run the ball. The offense just started off hot. Again, the in-game adjustments, there were none. I think Sark just kind of went into a shell a little bit. But look, I'm not trying to take anything away from Texas Tech. They played a hell of a game. Their quarterback,
Donovan Smith,
who,
backup.
by all accounts, is like not by all accounts. I mean, he's throwing a lot of interceptions, very turnover prone, protected the ball.
Made some big
the
time
dude
throws.
played a smart game. Yeah, he made a lot of clutch throws. They went for it on fourth down 8 times in this game and converted 6 of them.
That's pretty good.
They converted a
I got I got a text from a friend who's a diehard Texas fan, and he's like, what the fuck is Texas Tech doing? This isn't NCAA. Like, they need to start punting the ball. Like, he was just upset that they kept, like, early in the game, they continued to go for it on fourth. And I'm like, they leaned into it.
Their first possession in the third quarter, they go for it 4th and 5 from their own 40. Didn't get it, by the way. And then Texas, in turn, they get, obviously, great field position. They get to 4th and, like, 2, tried to go for it and didn't get it. It was a weird, messy game, but Texas Tech absolutely deserved to win. Donovan Smith, hats off to that dude. He played his ass off. Yeah, an ugly game. I don't know where Texas goes from here. They need Quinn Ewers back. They badly. No disrespect to Card, who played as well as he can possibly.
He's also
play,
kind of hurt too.
He is hurt.
What does Tech do when Tyler Show comes back? He's the QB1 who was hurt like first or second game of the year.
I don't know.
Show? What is it? Whatever.
I don't know. I'm just was thinking out loud. I'm pretty sure he's like a junior because he transferred in from Oregon. He's a little older. So I don't know what next year looks like because he's out for the season, I believe. And the current quarterback started some games last year. So he is a backup, but, you know, much like Hudson Card, it's not a backup with zero experience, I believe. So shouts to Joey McGuire. That's a big nuts win at home.
Yeah.
I think we obviously had a lot. Go ahead, David.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I know we got a lot to talk about in the post-game activities here, but in general, you think of any situation like this where you're not necessarily a big dog at home, but when you go down 14-0 at home to an opponent where you are kind of confident they might run away with this, i.e. SMU, TCU, for example. We went down big, fought back, blah, blah, blah. Tech fans, I don't think there was any ebb or flow in like their support and like, hey, we're here. We're still going to be the loud, like, you know, assholes that we are throughout the entire game. And I don't know if that helps, but I think it's pretty, you know, it's good to see that like they didn't give up any kind of confidence in their team in that manner, whatever that means. So who's going to just come out and say it and say that Joey McGuire's for open borders and soft on crime?
Wow.
It's just okay with fans rushing the field, even at the cost of, you know, the players for the other team.
Yeah, this is Tech's third home win, and 2 of those they've rushed the field after the game.
Well, the first one was against Powerhouse U of H, who almost lost to Rice.
Right.
Which I was wanting that so bad. Klein would have just melted down. It would have been so great.
Yeah.
In a good way.
So there's video evidence of at least 2 Texas players getting shoved by Texas Tech fans, and that's just on video. Who knows how many actually
dangerously
happened.
shoved too.
Hey, you know what? It's football. They should have won the game if they didn't want to get shoved by opposing fans rushing the field.
Or fans should just like maybe not rush onto the field and start shoving players.
You know what? I think we've talked about this in the last couple of years, but it's extreme old man tape. It's like, man, one of these days something bad's gonna happen. Like LeGarrette Blunt on a fan, and like the fan's head explodes.
Texas Tech actually released a statement trying to track down the perp.
That's good. Yeah, it did, and it's not indicative of the fan base. We know it's.
Is it?
God, KJ, you know better than we do. You.
That dude's
I
fucking
feel like
trash.
You can't run away from it if you're Texas Tech. Like, you buy into this whole concept of we can throw tortillas on the field. We've got the legends of our fans ripping down field goal posts and running it into the opposing fan base's bleachers. Like, we tear up bleachers and pass them down. Like, they're proud of how rowdy it is there. Like, this is like all of the sudden the Raiders, when they're in Oakland, like being shocked that one of their fans will beat another fan to death. Like, you can't have it both ways.
I hate that shithead, whoever he is, pushed that player down and probably disappeared into the crowd. And we're never going to hear from this guy. I mean, who knows if they actually find out who the hell it is.
Yeah, it just makes me nervous every time, even if it's not a contentious game or a rivalry or whatever. You know, it's just like, man, you get a kid who maybe got a little hurt, or maybe this is his last game, or he just had an awful game, and he gets bumped into or just looks and sees a fan throwing the horns down or something he doesn't like. And then next thing you know, you could have an absolute brawl.
He could, yeah.
And I don't know how it hasn't really happened yet.
He could have easily gotten fucked up by a group of Texas football players.
But whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
He's a
just,
A
shit.
shove in the
Fuck
back
that
like
guy.
that is like, people will
It's
say,
chicken
hey, this is a
shit.
big football player, can handle it, he's in pads, but you get shoved in the back unexpectedly. I don't care by how small of a person,
oh yeah.
with whatever whiplash reaction that happens, like, I'm not going to make it extreme, but it's a dangerous situation. Like,
So, yeah, I mean, good news is last time Texas is traveling to Lubbock for a very long time, most likely. So,
hmm.
yeah, I'm sure they're not
Well,
too upset about that.
Looking ahead, and they have Baylor at home and Oklahoma at home, as well as West Virginia and KU.
They're going to win one of those, and they will rush the field.
They're just going to keep rushing the
You
field.
got. I mean, they have at this point. Like, what if like Baylor rolls in there and they're like number 9 or
Yeah.
anything in the teens? Like,
There's a fine for that, isn't
There's
there?
a
They're
precedent.
16.
Isn't there a fine that the university
There
has
used to
pay?
be like conference fines, but who knows what happens to those now? Like, conferences have so much money from people leaving the conference. Like, I don't think they give a shit
But
about
like
paying
as
those off anymore.
like
but
as Tech was lining up for that last game-winning field goal in overtime, you could see the students were already sitting like over the side, like just ready to hop down. And I'm pretty sure security was doing nothing to try
Yeah.
to prevent it from
It's like
happening.
me.
they were
it's-
doing it before when Texas was lining up for their field goal to drive it to overtime.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
that's what you're just saying. But like on the winning one and the one that
Yeah,
led to overtime,
yeah.
they were sitting on the ledge. And I've been present when that situation happens. Like, usually the security guards
At least
will
try.
actively be like
Yeah.
telling you like, hey, they're not going to stop you, but they'll
Yeah.
at least be like, get off the ledge,
Yeah,
get
when
off the
it's-
ledge. Like,
when
at
it's-
least trying to establish.
20,000 students, however many it is, you can't like stop everyone, obviously, but attempts can be made to, all right, everybody chill out, get back in your seat situation. I don't know. It just sucked. I mean, the whole thing sucked. I hated it.
It's like me at Reunion Arena for the Corn Family Values Tour. And I'm about to rush the stage with the boys, something that I've definitely done. Very similar. Want to clarify, quarterback Tyler Show, he is expected back in a few weeks.
Oh,
Yeah. And
I thought he had like a clavicle out for the year. So yeah, you're right.
I don't think it was as bad as they thought. But I will say Tech has Kansas State and Okie State, their next two. So I don't know if Donovan Smith gets one of those, it's going to be hard to argue that he should be the starter, but
He looked sharp.
he really did.
I mean, they didn't throw the ball. I think the only time they threw the ball like farther than like 15 yards was when a Texas defender jumped off sides and you just kind of threw it up. It actually happened twice. But yeah, he throws everything kind of close to the line of scrimmage, but he was very accurate and he made some clutch plays at the end of the game there. So hats off to that dude. That game sucked. Hey, Quinn's coming back. That's like the only thing I keep coming back to. It's like keeping me like still in on the season is that I want to see Ewers play. And that's
I'm
really
glad
it.
you're saying that. I was going to ask, like, I know in the past there's been a point where you're like, all right, I'm over this. I'm all in on
Yeah.
Cowboy season.
I mean, last season after the very crushing OU loss, I was like, okay, now what is there to look forward to the rest of the year? And sure enough, that was like the beginning of I think a 5-game losing streak or whatever it was. And it was just a brutal season.
Well, that's good to hear, because if you're a Texas fan and you're out there saying season's lost, because I mean we got two losses now, and we're not going to make the playoff, and like you're not thinking about it as, oh, we're going to get Quinn back, and we're 0-1 in conference. Conference is still in play for us. Like, that should be your goal. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane that anybody thinks like the season's done. Like it's a
And
loss. It's a bad loss.
I think
but
any level-headed Texas fan would never like playoff was never really in the picture for this season. This was never going to be one of those years, but it was like a
unless Quinn's
step.
healthy.
It was like a step in getting there,
Healthy Quinn, maybe.
I've said at the beginning, like I would be thrilled with 8 wins this season. I still feel that's like the benchmark for good for Texas this year.
Sure. Okay. Anything else on college football before we move on to the NFL? Speaking of, I want to give a shout out to our good friends at DraftKings. The NFL action is in full swing here at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If that's not enough, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Right now, for every leg you add on, you can boost your winnings up to 100% with payouts bigger than ever. Why bet on football anywhere else? To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped-up same-game parlays once per game all season long. How about that? Here's what you do. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code WASHED, WASHED, to get $200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code WASHED. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Well, so close to perfection. So close. On to the NFL. No Cowboy game to be upset about. They play tonight. Pretty stoked to have my Sunday wide open. No stress. No adrenaline dump. Just me hanging out, watching the games casually.
Man.
Can I break some news for you real quick?
Okay.
Regarding the Cowboys game. Sorry, I was looking to see if I have anything on the board that's
Who's
fitting
out?
and realizing I've got a gap in coverage. But
No.
as of announced 20 minutes ago, the lineup for the Manning cast will include none other than Jimmy Johnson,
Ooh.
How about the
alive but
Cowboys?
nearly one time almost dead Tracy Morgan,
Oh.
and none other than my kryptonite himself,
McAfee?
Pat McAfee.
Oh.
Dude, I thought you were going to say Micah Parsons out because I know he's been sick.
We just keep shoving this dude down our throats, man.
Look, I might
just-
tune in. Look,
can't.
I love Troy and Joe. I might need to see what Jimmy says. I want to hear Jimmy going full Jimmy. But I also want to hear Troy go full Troy because both of those guys are not afraid to speak their mind on the Cowboys organization and Jerry in the front office.
I'm going to need some kind of
And-
supplemental entertainment here as the game features Daniel Jones versus Cooper Rush on Monday Night Football.
Dude, you have the best defensive player in football.
That's true.
The most electric player
That's
over
true.
there. What?
Whoa. Aaron Donald.
He's fine. What's he ever done?
Okay.
How many sacks
Let's
does he
just.
have?
I don't know. He's got a ring.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it okay? Goat talk? Okay. I'm just kidding.
That dude he is cold.
He is nasty. But look, I'm on my new shit.
But yes, electric defensive player in the NFL, possibly, yes.
How about your Jags?
They're good, KJ. KJ, they're good.
How did they lose to the Commanders?
Yeah, that's confusing, especially because they beat the brakes off of the Colts, and the Colts are competitive.
Colts
The
beat
Chargers
Chiefs?
were without their starting tackle, Slater. They were without Joey Bosa for a period of time, and Justin Herbert's not 100%. The biggest thing that I take from this is that they're capable of executing on third down, and they remember that they have a running game. So, I will be taking all of the confidence built yesterday straight to my DraftKings Sportsbook futures odds, where the Jaguars are plus 6,000 to win the Super Bowl, and seeing if I can't walk away with a cool 6 Gs this year.
You definitely need to do that. Can you also
keep an eye out on my IG story. I was trying to stitch together the pictures, but I didn't get it done in time.
Can you tell me what purpose it served having Herbert out there down like 24 or 21 with like 4 minutes in the game? Dude's already got fucked up ribs. They're down that OT. I guess he's a tackle. That lineman, he's out for the season. Like,
Ooh, Slater is? Damn,
yeah,
that's
I think that's him.
wow.
Like,
That's 3 teams without their star tackle now. Tyron, Taylor Lewan, and Rashawn Slater. That's huge.
I guess the guy who said week 1 that he thinks the Chargers are going to take a step back was correct. It was me. I'm him.
Stop.
I'm him.
Stop.
I'm that man.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing if once you lose that tackle and you're behind in the game, I don't think it's up to the coach or the player at that point. You've got to have a GM or somebody being like, yeah, get Chase Daniel off of the stage at the NFL Network analyzing the game and over to the field to pick up a check. You just can't do that. There's nothing to be gained in a game like that. It's just made no sense.
We need to check in with noted Charger fan DJ Bean, see where his head's at, because, oh boy, you better look out, Buster. He's a loose cannon.
Well, you predicted that accurately. I'd like to now turn the table over to Dylan Shiver, who once predicted that Jalen Hurts would not be working anywhere near an AutoZone or an NFL offense.
Dylan's not the only one. There's some other big sports
No.
personalities who have been wrong about him.
I believe I said he would make a fine career backup quarterback in the NFL. The dude is playing his ass off, man. That offense looks good. The Eagles look really good.
Dude.
Got to be favored to win that division now, Davey. Yeah, they look good, man. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Are we doing division?
I said division, yeah.
Division.
I like that.
Goes to Italy once. Yeah, they're nasty, dude. And, I mean, this is what people said. They're like, well, they had a really good offseason. They went out and got a, wide receiver.
A.J. Brown.
And look at them now. Cowboys got rid of their wide receiver for a 5th-round pick, and now he's balling in Cleveland. He's absolutely.
Now he's only had 4 100-yard games.
God, what a fucking nightmare!
This team,
a 5th-round pick.
This team, Dave.
And then we.
It's incredible what happens when you go get a dominant player like A.J. Brown, combine him with the only wide receiver to win the Heisman in, I don't know, decades, maybe not decades, whatever.
A nasty catch yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
And hit play. Like,
Hurts, man.
I don't know when the Eagles play the Cowboys, but I think next week.
Next week, week after, yeah.
So you're not going to have Dak back for that, and that's going to be a built-in, like,
we'll see if
mulligan.
There might be a quarterback controversy of brewing, KJ. If you talk to the owner and GM.
You got the boys
Do you want to
tonight.
explain that to the idiots who probably only see Stephen A. Smith like in some other market and like believe this is how Dallas actually thinks?
Yeah, I guess. Look, the Dallas media, and I'm assuming this was a Dallas beat guy. They know how to get Jerry. They know how to make him say something that is going to make his head coach cringe and a starting quarterback cringe, and just like the fan base. Like, they know how to get him to say something that's going to be talking point 1A on cold pizza or, last take, whatever it is. And they went to him and they're like, well, I don't know how it was worded. It was like, if Cooper Rush keeps winning and Dak, is healthy, like, is there like any chance of a controversy there? Of course, he can't just be like, Dak Prescott's our franchise quarterback. We hope Cooper plays, well. He's 2-0 as a starter. We think that's why he's been around for so long. We know he was capable of this. You give the answer like that, a political answer, and he just goes, what does he say? I don't know. Wouldn't it be something if there was a cornerback controversy?
He said, I'd welcome that. Of course I'd welcome that. That'd be something. That means we're winning. I would have win games. And he had logic to it, but Jerry can't help himself. And as a positive, the Cowboys play the Commanders next week, followed by Aaron Donald and then the Eagles. So I think he'll be back for the Eagles game because I think the Rams is what they were targeting.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't
see if he can stay healthy.
Eagles are really good is what we're trying to tell you. Jalen Hurts is balling. And, although some are saying they're peaking a little early, me being that person, I'm the person saying that the Eagles have peaked too early. You got to peak at the end of the season going into the playoffs.
Very
Momentum, true. KJ, you get it. How about that butt punt? Right in the gooch.
KJ, did you ever play special teams much in your days?
In fact, that's the majority of what my college career looked like.
Okay.
All 4 special teams.
Okay.
And an added note here, I played personal protector for the punter in discussion here, Thomas Morstead.
Really?
The punter for the Dolphins is an SMU Mustang.
When playing that position, personal protector, and when you have a shorter than normal range in which to punt, are you supposed to step aside?
You don't do shit but step forward. I guess step lateral is an option, but you absolutely do not step back or anything because you have to expect contact's going to push you back. You got to get the hell out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they had 11 yards to work with.
You practice that just as much as you practice like that is an end of the week.
That was my next question: is if you even practice that shortened punt zone from when you're
every single special teams practice includes that.
Okay,
like you practice like 2 different things. One that Texas executed very well. We talked about this earlier with Hudson Card. Fantastic effort of like going up to line with 7 seconds and cutting it down like 4 yards without using timeout. Best execution ever. And then you run the team on the kick team on because you only have the play clock to work with. And then you practice this, like almost more than onside kicks. You practice those two plays. And for this to go poorly at the NFL level, like you see plays where snappers fuck up or holders fuck up, and you're like, okay, that guy might not be in the league anymore. Like this up back who's probably like a backup linebacker or safety or something. I hope it's somebody that's very vital to that team because Thomas has been in the league for 15, 16, 17 years. I'm not putting it on him.
Plus, they won the game. I mean, if they lose the game after that, because that put Buffalo in a prime position to come down the field, and all they need is a field goal at that point.
Can I say something about that game too? When I was picking these games, I had the thought, I was like, man, you got a team from Buffalo going down to Miami. It's going to be hot, humid. And I was like, dude, this is exactly how people overthink it, and this is how you lose money or lose dip picks. So, of course, I picked the Bills because the Bills look like a juggernaut. And what happened? They go down there, and like they had
Hot
dudes
as fuck.
falling left and right.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it.
Dolphins 3-0.
I was worried about the rain. It was the humidity was the problem.
3-0.
That and the punts going up guys' backsides on the other end of the field. I
The
supposed to
old
play when
butt
when that's going on out there. The hell?
Imagine taking a
Other headline
football
out of
up
this
the butt.
game.
Just immediately explode. Sorry.
What?
Sorry, say that one more time. What was Dylan's question?
I said, imagine taking a football up the butt like that. And Dave said, yeah, you just immediately explode.
You could see how that might happen. A rapture.
I'll Google it. A rupture?
Oh. Woo, all right.
Anyhow, the other headline out of that game is that Tua apparently went down with a head injury or a big hit early in the game and came right back like the next series. NFLPA has got questions about, him re-entering the game so quickly. I'm sure not much will come of it. But yeah, Mike McDaniel, 4-0, first head coach job. People were worrying that it'd be like a half in, half out year for him. But he's all the way there, 4-0. Much props. Shouts to the draft picks that the Niners will get because they'll need them because they're bad.
Lions should be 2-1. Dan Campbell took that L. Should have gone for it. Didn't need to do that 54-yarder. That's fine. He admitted it. Only other notable story. Oh yeah, Brady Rodgers kind of Brady, I mean, legitimately did not have wide receivers. 2 fumbles in that game. It was a really ugly game. The Packers didn't look spectacular. I don't know what the Jumbotron story is, but Rodgers said that he saw something on the Jumbotron that tipped them off. Who knows? He could have just been like, he's a fucking wild card. He might have just been saying shit, but I don't know. Did you hear anything else on that story?
No, I didn't catch anything post game on this and haven't followed up yet. But I do know that, like you said, going into this, we knew Mike Evans was suspended. Godwin was going to be out. They signed Cole Beasley. I don't know if he did anything in the game, but I forgot that Allen Lazard was back for the Packers. That would have made it a no-brainer. Because Sammy Watkins was discussed to be out, but Lazard was back, and then their rookies finally showed up. So the Packers might be clicking if they've got Lazard back, which who would have thought that was a thing?
Okay. Anything else before we move on?
Y'all want to do a free pick for tonight? Doesn't count towards dip picks, but
what's the
I
line?
don't even know what the line is. I have no idea. I'll ask the DraftKings Sportsbook people, but how are you feeling about the game overall? I'll get it for you.
I'm looking it up right now.
I don't feel,
Giants favored by 1.
Ooh.
I don't know.
In New York.
I think they're gonna run Saquon right at Micah Parsons to kind of neutralize him, and I think they're gonna have success. I would definitely hammer that under. I feel like
38.5.
Yeah, this is like a 17-10 tops game.
For comparison's sake, Thursday night Dolphins Bengals is 47.5.
Oh
and the Bengals haven't given up a touchdown in 7 quarters.
I'm calling big Ezekiel Elliott night.
Okay.
You ready for how about that?
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I didn't know those are like ever in play again.
You're gonna get one every few games. Give
Okay.
me the boys. I don't feel good about it, but I never do because I'm not good at this. I've won 2 games the first 3 weeks each week, so 6 games. I'm in last. I'm coming for
Give me
that
a
ass,
Turpin
though.
fumble. Oh, I'm so mad I was talking then. So mad.
What?
Give me a Turpin fumble. Give me a Kenny Golladay fight on the sideline. And he will no longer be with the Giants after this week because he is not happy to be benched.
Give me the boys. Give me the boys tonight. Don't know why.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Did we not pick this game?
No.
No,
Oh,
we don't
nice.
pick Monday night games.
Ooh, thank God. Eesh. I've had enough of that action.
I'm on the boys tonight, Davey.
Okay, we
Write it down.
We get it.
Write
How
it
many
down.
ways can you say it?
Write it down, bitch.
He's okay. Dylan is famously on the Cowboys.
A
Oh man,
Homelander
you know what
ass.
I'm on right now? Athletic Greens. Every morning, I start my morning empty stomach. I go out there, I tear open a little pack of AG1, pour it, mix it with a little water, shake it up real good, and boom, right there
I hope
to
you
the
don't-
dome.
I hope you don't think you're the only one doing that.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I know you're also getting 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole-sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, as is KJ. We're starting our day right. Special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your recovery, your focus. What more can I say? KJ, how you sleeping
What
these
more
days?
can I say? A lot better. I actually had family in town. Sister-in-law was in town. We usually give people the option, hey, if you want to stay in the basement or the main floor, it's up to you. You know, your boy can be a little bit of a Snorlax sometimes,
No.
but of late, not a problem. Not saying any problems are solved, but your boy is getting much more rest, lower spikes in my glucose throughout the day. Shouts to AG1 for starting me off right each day.
Less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything while still tasting good. And that's a fact because I've been on products that, fancy themselves a competitor. Like back in the day, you get some stuff like, oh, I need to get my greens. It tastes like grass clippings.
Yeah.
Not AG1. AG1 it's legitimately good.
Sneaky taste, really.
You could
good.
throw it in with your smoothie, but I do it like I think we all do it, empty stomach
Just
with water
water.
in the morning, and it's perfect. So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/bang. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/bang to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Mind if we party, lads?
Ooh,
It's a sports party.
let's go.
Did Aaron Judge interrupt any of y'all's football games?
So I was watching the Texas game on the ESPN app because there was an overtime game that interfered with it. So I had to switch over to start the game. And they did switch over, but they kept the Texas game running.
Picture in picture.
Yeah, they did split screen, but the audio was on the Yankees. So it didn't affect too much.
I liked it when they switched over to it and he struck out. And everybody's like, oh, we just switched over to see a fucking strikeout. I'm like, it's baseball. It's going to happen more often than not.
Yeah.
It's weird because I remember watching the Barry Bonds and the McGuire Sosa runs, and not even big baseball guy myself at that age. Clearly I am now. I kind of enjoyed those cut-ins. Like, it made it seem like a big event. Now, them cutting in when he's going after the AL record is a little bit weak to me. Like, if he was sitting at 70 and he's on his way to 71, 72, 73, which I know there's a reason, he's not going to hit those numbers. I'd feel better about it, but I don't like them being like, hey, he is looking to break. I'm not going to insert the name because I don't fully remember Roger Maris's record. Question mark.
Maris hit 61.
Yeah. So that's what they're pumping up right now. I'm like, I don't care about that. Let me know when he goes after Big Daddy Bond's record, which he's not going to get. 10 games left. Not getting there.
He's still on 60, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
61.
He did hit his 61st?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
Headline, Sports Illustrated, the Yankees are desperate for Aaron Judge to hit number 62.
Oh. I think they're saying that, so that's when he breaks it, but.
Oh, okay. Sorry. As you might know at home, I have not watched much baseball. It's tough times in Arlington for the Little Rangers.
That would be the non-steroid record.
Okay. Well, I recognize the steroid record.
I know that you're very pro-steroid.
I'm pro bonds.
Very pro-cheating.
I like bonds. Anybody can go up there with a dangly earring with a head that's 7 sizes larger than it was when he came into the bigs. I fuck with him heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's stuck on 60
Chris
homers.
Pine-ass head.
I regret the error. What else? KJ, I guess this is your segment as the only dimple head around
9
here.
times in a row, USA. Let me hear you. All the fans around the world are in awe of everything that is the U.S. of America Golfers Association players. Like such as Max Homa.
Let's go.
And
hey, fuck yeah. Great
Kevin
President's
Kisner.
Cup. Didn't see much Kevin Kisner, but he had some good talking points. He likes to party. He's the oldest guy on the team.
Jordan Spieth.
Absolutely. Give me your, hey, is Tom Kim him?
Tom Kim is apparently him. Yeah. Now, can we put the golf season to rest? Like every time I think we're like entering that weird phase of we hear about golf in the background, like the Genesis Cup is probably coming up or something. But then the next event, all of a sudden, like, oh, see you in April or whatever.
Not
like,
so
are we there
fast, yet? My friend. We've got the Sanderson Farms Championship.
Damn.
Let it go.
It's going to be busted.
Tell me when we can bring back the Masters as a society and as an event. But yeah, that's all I got on golf. Jay Crowder wants out of Phoenix, speaking of owners and masters and whatnot. Not because of Robert Sarver, but because of his shitty ass contract.
I was actually wondering if it was because of Sarver.
There's a tie in there that makes it all work. But
yeah,
it's
not just because of him. He just, I mean, I don't know where he's going to end up. Memphis, what was it? Ja Morant tweeted like eyes emoji type thing.
Ooh,
I don't know. All I know is that
Memphis. Oh God.
Yeah, Phoenix fans are pissed. Or not pissed, but like they aren't upset to see him go. Jay Crowder was notably starting, not producing as well as Cam Johnson, who's a third-year player. Who's doing quite well and sub for a contract. So, you know, they've got an excess of talent there in Phoenix. So
they were ass against the Mavs, and Jay Crowder was ass against the Mavs. So shout out to Luka for absolutely destroying that team.
Damn.
It'd be nice if Jay Crowder was on the Mavs, though. But, you know, whatever.
Not like we drafted him or something. We did.
And then sent him to, was that Rondo?
Atlanta, Boston. Yeah, Rondo trade. Terrible
Rondo.
trade. Yeesh.
Last basketball note. Jimmy Butler showed up to his first media day with some hair. First reactions, Dylan?
This is his second like wild hairdo change in the past like few months, isn't it? I don't have much.
I feel like
I missed the first,
one.
If so.
It sounds familiar.
He got extensions, right? I don't know how else you grow it out that fast. Did he get extensions?
He jokingly said, like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he finally like copped up to it. He's like, yeah, I've been trying some things out just to piss the internet off. Cause he's got like
he's doing bits.
8-inch dreadlock, not even dreadlocks, like ponytails. I don't even know what you call them. Don't insult him. You know, never mind. I was not going to say Rachel. Anyways.
He's doing a bit. I respect the hair bit.
You should. You should do more hair bits. I'm gonna bleach mine. Hey, I'll bleach my hair if you bleach your ass.
No,
pussy.
I'm not gonna lie. The leather strap on the hat today, for some reason, I kept thinking like, I was like, man, does Dave have like blonde highlights sticking out the front of his hair?
No.
My screen's a little blurry. I couldn't tell.
Just the glistening of a bad hairline, probably. Rest in peace, Pro Bowl.
Oh no.
Are we sad?
No.
Do we care?
No one watches the Pro Bowl.
That should be the fantasy punishment, is watching you have to go live and do like a live stream with
you have
notes.
to
Live
keep the box
play-by-play.
score.
And you have to do a one-off episode just on the Pro Bowl.
Ugh.
Oh
If it was
my God.
baseball, you'd have to score the Pro Bowl. Yeah, they moved it to Las Vegas this year, and I felt like that was going to generate more player interest. But they've also turned the reins for this event over to Omaha Productions, which, again, brings you the information that Pat McAfee will be on the Manning cast tonight. I really liked the quarterback challenges in the past. They said they're also going to replace the tackle game with a flag football game. I am here to tell you there absolutely will be an injury in this game. I don't think we've had any Pro Bowl injuries. It's just been bad television of recent. Guarantee we're going to get a torn muscle or something because players are going to be more likely to be running all out in flag football.
Of course, we remember from The Bachelorette when
Mhm.
Clay, don't remember his last name, former NFL guy, tight end, like was seriously injured in a flag football game, like a touch football game on the show.
Like broke his wrist.
It's like, dude, come on.
He
You
was
play
wide
real-
open.
You play real football. What are you doing?
He just fell over. He didn't
Cousin
get,
of somebody in the NFL
Flag
too.
Football.
he didn't get jacked up.
No, we didn't get hit.
Bring back
Shouts
jacked
to all the
up.
freaks out there.
Okay. Okay, I
You
see
want
what
to
you're
run
doing.
it back right quick? Get out of here.
Yes.
It's time to run it back. I'm trying
Oh.
out. I'm trying out new voices for this, by the way.
I think that's the one.
These segments
That's
during
him.
which we talk about what we already talked about.
That voice is him.
But actually, the first one, Dave is him. Tom Kim is not him.
Tom Kim is electric.
Don't know his. I've never heard his name until this show.
Well,
today.
yeah. Okay. International player.
Hey, new TMD hat dropping hella soon. It's a new twist on an old favorite. It actually is.
Ooh.
It actually is.
Does it say Morehead State on it?
Close.
Mm.
We promise not to eat ass on the live stream.
That's right.
Kansas is our Big 12 fun team of the week.
We need to do that every week.
Yeah.
They really are, though.
Dave is ground floor beav.
Dude, I've been deep in the beef for a minute.
You don't have to make it weirder than it already is.
Well,
Not tonight, sweetheart. Give me that hand.
okay.
On Monday Night Football, we got Daniel Jones versus Cooper Rush. By the way, the first NFL game I ever went to was Kitna versus Rex Grossman at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. The first, it was not entertaining.
Kidna was a decent
It
backup.
was not entertaining. I don't remember who won. I think it was actually the formerly named Redskins.
Wasn't Kidney formerly, didn't he coach at like Waxahachie or something for a
I
while?
don't know.
He did. And then Burleson, home of Kelly Clarkson.
Oh.
And finally, Dylan is on the boys tonight. And that concludes
Okay.
running back.
Dylan is on the boys tonight.
Hey,
it
fun
says.
episode,
Yeah, funny,
guys.
Fun epi.
Thanks for not
Let's
playing
go,
any
girls.
voicemails from tech fans, Dave.
You want me to just see what the last one sent was?
Not really.
Let me just see what the time.
By the way, I muted Gark on Twitter, so if he came at me, I have no idea.
No, well, I don't
Col-
think he did. I think he was
Colorado Gark.
he was too busy on the field like pushing players and stuff.
Yeah, just stomping his square-toed boots all over the turf down there.
Yeah.
It was a great recoil by that fan base. Like, we didn't talk about that part earlier, like how embarrassing some of the fallout's been. All of them are like, oh man, no, there's no room in our sport for this. Counter to their entire existence online of like jumping at the opportunity to cuss somebody out over their team.
Yeah. Are you gonna play a voicey for real?
Wait, say that again?
Are you gonna play a voicey?
Do you have one?
No, I have not vetted these.
Okay, good.
I don't want. I'm scared.
Yo, Michael, I know.
That was a voicemail. Somebody was calling in. I hung up on it. earlier.
There is an inordinate amount from September 24th, early to mid afternoon.
That's weird.
I don't really know if I don't know what might have been said. I'm sorry to my friends in Lubbock. I just don't trust you to play you live.
We don't trust
It's more
you.
work for Randy if I have to.
We
edit it
will
out.
find a place for that. Maybe we can package those up and just make that into social posts. How about that?
Look at that. It's our social director.
Send them
KJ.
to me. I'll edit. I'll do the editing. I'll do the audio part if we can come up with a way to do that.
Cool.
Look
All
at
right.
that.
Well, fun show. We will be
Bye-bye.
back Thursday night, 6:30 Central. Watch Media or Too Much Dip YouTube. Bye.
Bye bye.
I want my chips with
Bye.
the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
When my team wins a big game, it's good. But when my team doesn't win the big game, you better look out, Buster. I'm a loose cannon. This is not good at all.